Now, Mac McClung has just had his NBA debut for the Chicago Bulls, and things were interesting to say the least. Now, if we take a look at Mac McClung's stats, he actually only played around 3 minutes during the game, scored 2 points, and actually had 1 turnover. And I think these sort of games are very essential for players like Mac McClung to get their foot in the door and actually be able to play for an NBA team. Now, a lot of people doubted Mac McClung and didn't even think he would be able to play on an NBA squad, and he has proven haters wrong since then. Mac McClung has obviously been around the basketball scene for a while now, especially in high school, where he broke Allen Iverson's scoring record, was having 40 and 50 point games, and was dominating competition, although only being ranked as a 3-star recruit and not even having too many college offers. He attended Georgetown, where things didn't go the best for him. Now, he averaged around 16 points at Georgetown before leaving and transferring to Texas Tech, and in my eyes, after this dude transferred to Texas Tech, things were not the same at all. This dude went off and really proved that he was the guy that was going to put the ball in the basket and get things done on the court. And what was interesting about his stats here was that he barely averaged any assists. Mac McClung almost didn't even average 2 assists per game and had around 16 points at Texas Tech, knocking down the big shots that the squad needed, and he was doing things that no one else could do on that team. Now, fast forward, of course, Mac McClung was playing for the Lakers during the G League and actually was offered a hardship deal to play for the Chicago Bulls, a 10-day contract. And this basically gives Mac an opportunity to get scouted, let other teams see that he has game and skill and that he can make it and play at the next level. And I think what's difficult about these 10-day contracts is that you're probably not going to get much playing time wherever you go. Mac McClung clearly didn't get too much playing time here, only playing around 3 minutes. And it's tough because if you're not getting that playing time, how can you really show teams what you're made of and that you're a bucket, that you're a player that deserves to be in the NBA? It's super hard to even do that. And that's why I think Mac McClung may struggle to actually find a spot at the next level. Now, if they do give this dude some more playing time, I see it potentially could happen. But as of right now, things do not look the best. Now, let's be honest about Mac McClung. This dude is only standing at around 6'2". Yes, he has the athleticism, but I think overall his guard potential, he needs to develop, one, the assist ability, so being able to pass the ball, really get his teammates involved, and number 2, his jump shot has to be money. Being at that height, he is considered short for the NBA. And of course, there are definitely other hoopers who go out there and are 6'2" and can dominate the league, but that's definitely the exception rather than the norm. And I think Mac McClung has a ton of development he's going to need to work on if he can actually make that full transition to the NBA. You see a lot of hoopers that we saw back in high school that were buckets and are no longer even in the league or barely scraping by. You have the Trayvon Duvals. There's a ton of hoopers, Jalen LeCue, a ton of these guys that had a ton of talent in high school. They're out here killing. But then once they make that transition, it's tough for them to even find a spot in the NBA. And hopefully Mac McClung can do this. But as of right now, man, they need to play this dude, aka free Mac McClung. Let him go crazy. Let him get some more minutes. And I think he's going to show you very soon why he deserves a spot in the league. Now, taking all factors into account, Mac McClung did have a less than impressive summer league debut. As many of you guys remember, this dude honestly just did not play well at all and seemed more of a role player than a player that was actually going to make a large impact on a franchise, as many fans would have hoped for. But as Mac transitioned going into the G League, this dude was starting to emerge as a star. Now, he actually averaged around 22 points per game, shooting 53% from the field and getting over 6 assists per game. 6 assists. This clearly shows that he has turned his game around. I don't care what anyone says, Mac McClung clearly has changed, and I think initially coming into it, he may have just been overwhelmed, his first exposure to the NBA, but it seems as he's settling into his spot and really finding his groove, he is making an impact. It's no doubt about it. He was probably one of the most, if not the most impressive player on that that G League team playing for the South Bay Lakers. And now it seems like he finally has an opportunity, if he can get some more playing time, to really show these NBA scouts that he's ready to play at the next level. He is the top dog, and you have to believe what this dude has done. Now, as many of you remember, McClung actually was super impressive in the NBA Combine as well. Now, he actually had a 43.5-inch vertical, and this was the 7th best ever. The 7th best ever. This McClung, you cannot write off this dude. He has an insane vertical, was able to average a ton of points, and now I really think the thing that's holding him back was just how poorly he played in the summer league. If you're gonna play well, they really want you to be consistent. In this case, McClung just not having it, not playing well in summer league is definitely going to be something that scouts are going to look at and really wonder, why did this happen and how can they change it so that McClung does not perform like that again? Because honestly, when you have these poor performances, it really can hurt your overall stock, and people may not want to take a chance on you just because you weren't playing as solid back then as you are now. Now, if we take a look at this comment, remember watching his mixtapes when he was still in high school. Crazy how time flies. And I think people don't realize the impact of how powerful these high school mixtapes can be, but also how they can warp the game of basketball. Now, it's fun to see McClung go out there, dunk the ball, throw down an insane windmill, score a ton of points, 40-50 point games, but playing at the next level is completely different. And a lot of people need to remember that the level of competition you play in high school also matters a ton. It's just like when people take a look at Bronny James and say he's not averaging that many points, when if you take a look at the team that he's playing for one of the best programs in the country. And when we take a look at McClung, yes, he was not playing against some of the best comp in the country for his high school, but even in AU, this dude really did play against solid competition, and it's fun to always see how these hoopers do pan out. High school is one thing, but college is another, and then the NBA is an entire different game. And I think Mac has actually transitioned decently so far. He played very well in college basketball, and now we're really just waiting to see how this dude is actually going to play in the NBA once he finally gets some more minutes. Now, Mac actually did have an opportunity to play for the Lakers as well early in his NBA career and didn't perform the best either, and that is why he was sent to the South Bay Lakers. But I think it's very difficult for McClung to even get on an NBA team, because look who's on the Lakers. The Lakers are stacked with talent. They have Westbrook, you have LeBron, Anthony Davis, Stanley Johnson just got called up, a ton of these hoopers, and it's going to be tough for somebody like McClung to get playing time on that squad. Now, I'm gonna be honest here. Some people are saying Westbrook should get traded. This dude has not been playing the best in some of his games, but I don't think you can compare somebody like McClung to Westbrook, if I'm being honest here, if I'm not just joking around. But he has a ton of talent, man, and hopefully we do see him soon in the NBA. Let me know what you think. Clicking on the video on the screen would help my channel a ton. And this is LNH bringing you the best basketball content on YouTube, and I'm out.